No, Ginger.
No, she won't be here. She said if we needed her, we could call her.
It is 6 o'clock, so we will go ahead and get started and call the meeting to order.
I have to find the hand that was busted. They broke it on the fatal, so.
So we will start with a roll call.
Member Perkins. Here. Member Noel. Here. Member Patterson.
Here.
Member Armstrong.
Here.
And Chairman Williams.
I'm here.
You do have a quorum. All members are present.
So the next item is the approval of the agenda. Any changes?
There's no changes.
No changes. So we will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor? Next, we move to the approval of minutes from the last BZA meeting.
I was working on those and they're a little complicated. So if I could ask for them to be deferred till next month, I'll bring them back to you then.
Well, we need a motion to defer
Yes.
those. So we will entertain a motion to defer the approval of last month's minutes till next month. Got a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Thank y'all.
Now to the constituents' comments. Anyone not pertaining to the new business items have anything to say? Going once, going twice? All right. Old business, there is none. Now on to new business. So Tom, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. I'm ready to go? I'm ready, okay. So this application is a group of care and family home on Old Nashville Dirt Road, 5.13 acre parcel that is zoned R3. Group care and family home, as you can see under the request, this is a 6,176 square foot facility that is operated by Hope Ministries. It's a religious-based recovery program, providing individuals with life skills and therapeutic support. It's non-medical in nature, and it's intended to overcome drug and alcohol addiction. The facility is located or is capable of supporting up to 28 people for 8 to 12 months. Now, if you look at our appendix and table of uses, family and group care is typically found in the R4. But under, and I highlighted the assisted living portion of it because it'll be important in the next section. Under the Religious Land Use and Institutionalized Persons Act, which is a federal law that allows religious organizations to do a lot of different things that fall under the umbrella of religious, including churches, but also this type of use. We always check conformance with the zoning code and adopted plans. It meets all those requirements, and it is permitted in this section as a special exception. But you can see under U.S. Public Law 106-274, the intention of the purpose of the law is to remove any discrimination as far as religious exercise. And so the intention for as far as land use goes is to, actually I forgot I could look over here, substantial burden on religious exercise, unequal treatment, unreasonable exclusion, as well as denominational discrimination. So the safe harbor for us, which is important for us, is to basically do any of the four, change our policy or practice to remove the substantial burden, or we can retain the policy or practice and exempt substantial burden as it relates to religious exercise, providing exemptions within a policy, or any other means that eliminates the substantial burden. So you can see in the under the application, which I should actually put that as discrimination, those are the types of discrimination that typically or that can occur as it relates to religious exercise, and especially unequal treatment. And this is where it comes into play for the comparison with the assisted livings. Hope Ministries, just a little bit of background on them. They are a faith-based organization. Old Nashville Dirt Road is also a religious organization that owns the land where this group care home is proposed. So in order to remove the barrier for the substantial burden, a comparable secular land use is assisted living, which is permitted in this zone district. And as you can see under the comparisons, a lot of this is actually, all of this is detailed in the staff report. But if you look at the comparisons between the two, purpose of the assisted living is to remove discrimination. In that case, it has to do with elderly and aging. Hope Ministries, the purpose of the LUIPA, however you pronounce it, is to eliminate discrimination for religious assemblies and institutions. A lot of the attributes of both assisted living and the group care home that Hope Ministries is proposing are very similar. They're not, they don't line up completely the same, but they are very similar. And assisted living is generally secular, whereas the group care home in this case is religious and faith-based. So the applicant has addressed all the staff comments, or they can be addressed at the site development phase. It's going to the planning commission on Thursday. But you can see the requirements for both assisted living as well as this type of group care that has that type of that amount of occupancy requires review by state fire marshal, sprinkler protection, and it must meet all the development requirements. They're not exempt from those items. So let me go to the site here. You can see the site is on a vacant parcel that's 5.13 acres. That's located just south of the Livingstone Church. So it's adjacent. There's a lot of privacy that's involved, especially for the people that will be there, as well as there's a lot of opportunity for any type of buffering it with if it were needed. On to the east is R4, so it's a higher density residential zone. To the south is R3 single family. But as I was saying, that there's a lot of opportunity for buffering if it's necessary. This is a residential land use, so you're not seeing any type of adverse impact that's not typical of residential. And if I go back, there are 7 standards for special exception. And in all I won't go through each one of them, but they meet all the standards for the special exception. So based on the findings that are found or detailed in the report, staff is recommending that the Board of Zoning Appeals approves this special exception. And then I will take any questions. And we've got a whole crowd here that's can answer questions too, or here to support the application.
So I kind of thinking that the key issue as far as the religious piece of it is the fact that however it's classified, not more group home is not permitted in the R3 zone, but in assisted living is. So depending on how you classify that, so we're treating this more like a assisted living.
That's the comparable secular use, and the reason why, because I think that in the past, the way that it was that any type of religious use was permitted was either the policy was just not applied to, or our regulations were not applied. Another way would have been that if we kept the policy, we exempted that substantial burden. And substantial burden doesn't mean that they don't have to meet the development part of it, because they still have to meet setbacks. Those are not considered a substantial burden. Typically, substantial burden just has to do with if there is a provision within our code that permits it, and in this case, the assisted living is a comparable secular use, then we can use that as a way to analyze what they're doing and then, and offer a pathway to an approval. If it were, commercial zoning, let me see, if it were, let's say residential one, R1 zoning, they might have had to go through the second step of actually rezoning it. And
Well, if they're willing to put a gas station in instead, that wouldn't.
yeah, commercial activity is prohibited as a religious use. Yes, because there was a court case that analyzed I think it was a daycare center under religious use. And I don't know if it went up to a Supreme Court level, but the opinion of the court was that it was a commercial use, even though it was owned by a religious organization, and that's not permitted. And in this case, and that's why we had application was delayed only because we needed to see what the property owner was, that they were a religious organization, as well as Hope Ministries within their incorporation documents that it was religious in nature, or faith-based in nature.
Which, if you're treating it as assisted living, it really, none of that's all moot anyways, because it's allowed.
That's correct, as a special
Anyway,
exception,
so,
yes.
okay, all right. Any questions?
No.
We'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the special exception.
Do we have a second?
I second.
A second, and we'll have a roll call vote.
Mickey Perkins, Member Noel,
Yes.
Member Armstrong,
Yes.
Member Patterson,
Yes.
Chairman Williams.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next up.
All right, next item. Next item is a reduction in parking. So at 1817 North Main Street, there is there's commercial 2, general business zoning, and Valvoline is the group that wants to come in there. And currently our code, generalizes commercial buildings. This one is 1,462 square feet. Yes, 1,462 square feet. And our code, which I forgot to put in our report, the way that we calculate parking spaces is generalized in the sense that in commercial zone, if you have 1,401 square feet, you need 21 parking spaces. Our appendix also generalizes the type of use under as an automobile service. So this particular type of use is, I just use the International or Institute of Transportation Engineers definition, which is a quick lubrication vehicle shop. This type of land use doesn't have as much parking generated from it because people drive up there and they wait in their cars and they will go through and get their oils changed. There's other services that are provided, but typically it is you're sitting in your car and not waiting in the building like a mechanic shop. So the proposal is to provide 11 stalls. There are 6 spaces that are in the drive aisle, the queue area, to get into the service bays. As far as conformance with the zoning code, as well as the readiness of the development of site, it meets all those requirements or can meet those at the time of development. Let's see here. So this is what the proposed plan for the Valvoline. And as I stated, it's classified in the ITE as a quick lubrication vehicle shop. So there is, it's a little bit, typically administrative review is intended for if there's an error in judgment or application of the code, but somebody snuck in a little provision in there that the Board of Zoning Appeals can review or make a determination of what is the parking needed as far as for a use that is maybe not specifically defined in our code. So under ITE, there was only one example that was surveyed, but you can see it at below left with the calculation. 7.41 spaces is required based on a survey of that they had one quick lubrication shop. So what I did was I checked other area codes. You can see Franklin's 4.87. Yes, it's a little bit blurry because I took a snapshot of my report. Under Spring Hills, that was the lowest one. That's almost 3. Gallatin is the one that we were actually looking at to modify or update our code for parking, because we generalize a lot of our parking generation, and it's been, in some cases, it's been problematic. So in Gallatin's, it would be 8 spaces that are required. And what they're proposing is 11. And so the city engineer, Public Works, as well as myself, we all, after reviewing it, agree that 11 parking spaces is sufficient for this type of use. And for that reason, since it's able to meet all the standards of development, we're recommending approval of this reduction.
Actually, I think really they should only need maybe one for every employee and then maybe 2 customer spaces. As someone who ran one of those for years, that's 11 maybe would be. But anyways, yeah, it's all right. Any questions?
Just for a comparison, the facility that's on Madison Street,
Yes.
how does it compare to that?
I think the one on Madison Street has a larger garage. I think they have expanded services. I know my wife really loves the Valvoline. She uses one over in Murfreesboro. And their services, they do have other services besides changing the oil. They can also do other types of maintenance changes and stuff, but it really is, you're sitting in your car and they're doing
But still, they have 2 bays and 7 parking spots.
Yeah.
That's it.
I kind of thought they did, or more actually.
And I don't know how the square footage is calculated because it's got a basement underneath all of it, so I don't know if that's calculated in the square footage. Or if
yeah,
you're just talking about the first floor, because if you're calculating all that, it's over 2,000 square feet. So.
Yeah, typically, in this case, or at least in this case, typically we're just looking at the footprint of the building. And because it's really the employees who are accessing in there, not really crowding in there.
Any questions? We'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Got a motion to approve, or to grant the
The exception.
second?
Second.
Got a second, and we'll have another roll call vote.
Chairman Williams,
Yes.
Member Patterson,
Yes.
Member Armstrong,
Yes.
Councilmember Noel,
Yes.
Member Perkins.
Yes.
Passes.
All right, perfect. Next is approval of our training hours.
Oh, I did look at those before I left. Betsy, Noel, Ethel Patterson, and Mr. Armstrong all have 2 hours of training from the last training thing you did with Mr. Edwards.
Yes.
I do too. That was online.
Oh, you watched it online? Okay. I was gonna ask if anybody had watched it online, so I'll write you down. So if we could approve the hours for those 4 for 2 hours.
We will entertain a motion to approve our training hours.
Motion.
Got a motion? Second? Got a second? Ms. Ethel.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Just one other item, which is not on here, but, so I'm putting together I'll have resolutions, for both of these, items, and I'll send it to you, and you can just electronically sign it and get it back to me, and I'll just incorporate it into the final package.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. If there's no other business, we will stand adjourned.
Thank you very much.